This commercial is brought to you by Smoothie King.
Okay. Dang, I can see the thing on my side. I'm gonna have to look at the computer so I can tell y'all when it's about to go.
All right.
Hopefully, I ain't a bead in the camera. Okay, it's coming to the end, y'all.
I see it.
Mm-hmm.
And we're up. How
Yo.
you doing?
Yo, what's popping? Hey, we back. Another episode, Blaq and the Beast. I'm the Beast.
I'm Blaq.
Hey, what's going down today, man? Hey, what we talking about today, Blaq?
Today we are talking about if men are entitled to submission from a woman.
Oweee.
And my very first, what is submission to you?
I talked about this last night, but when I really break it down to...
It got in your spirit.
Yeah, it got in my spirit too.
You couldn't wait till today.
I was excited about today because I think people are using the word, I think they're using it wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're using the word submission in the wrong context. And I don't mean any disrespect by what I'm about to say to the women, but I think now women are using this word just like they don't want it to be used, like they want to obsolete it.
Maybe they do.
And maybe so, but it's not a word that is supposed to be offensive. You know, it is something that you do, you know what I'm saying? Men and women do it, you know, for the person that you love. And there should be nothing wrong with that. But now it's like they're using, you know, they want this word gone like it's a racist word or something.
I feel like it definitely has it has a negative connotation with it.
Right.
And if that's their perception of it, that's their perception of it. We'll have to, I feel like even though the word has a negative connotation and it's a whole lot of gray area where if it's necessary and in what type of submission you know in a way,
Mm-hmm.
like what you've seen or what your own personal behavior of submission would be, not the definition, because we're not going by the definition when we're thinking of that.
That's the issue. And I was going to pull up the definition too, but
being submissive.
Right. So
I would say that in order to keep the word, understand we can change it or whatever. It's just an understanding of having, just an understanding what submission is and where is it coming from, what do you want to do with it, you know, just grow up about it, because it could be seen as a slave behavior when you
but we're talking about this relationally though.
I understand that, but say that man thinks that.
Okay.
You being submissive to me, you doing for me, doing everything for me, I need you to be open and available for me however I need. Right? That's your understanding of being submissive. To her, that sounds like a slave. Mm-hmm. So if you telling, if that's the type of man coming to her like, hey, I prefer a submissive woman, no, I'm not being your slave, sir. Mm-hmm. That's a no. But it will easily have a conversation for understanding of what you mean by being submissive. Mm-hmm. Just as if you was going into a relationship and she said, I'm looking for a provider. You need to know what you mean by that.
Absolutely.
Right? And would that feel away for you? Would it be a red flag for you?
No, but I can understand how for some men it would be. I could understand that.
Well, just how submission would be feel away for some women.
But that's direct. She's saying she's only looking for a provider.
Mm-hmm. And a man preference would be a submissive woman.
A submissive woman.
Yeah.
But when she asks you what that looks like, and you tell her, I want you to cook, clean, fold my clothes and all that, and she say, nah, well, I think that's a slave, mm-hmm. then I can understand why she felt the way she felt, and I wouldn't argue with her with that. Mm-hmm. But when we're looking at but if I tell you, hey, I would like a submissive woman just as much as I want her to submit to me, I'm going to submit to her.
That's
totally, you see what I'm saying?
But
I'm unraveling
something else. How positive your perception of submission is?
But that's the way it is. But I get it if people ain't presenting it that way.
Because if you're going by the definition of submission, it's not. It's not the helpmate. It's not, we're going to equally do this.
Mhm.
That's why we had to title it "Is Men Entitled?" Men feel entitled to submission. Women don't feel entitled to submit. Women don't even know what the fuck submission from a man would be.
Right.
It's us in a lesbian relationship will understand what being submissive and a submissive exchange would be. And you know what? Within our world, now we got some toxic shit. Don't get me wrong, but within our world, what we don't have a problem with is establishing territory as far as who's gonna be dominant, who's gonna be submissive, who's gonna play what role, you get comfortability in what's in you, not a society rule on you a girl, so you gotta do this, and you the man, so you gotta do this. And our dynamic is almost chosen. You know, you get to choose. I want to appear dominant, but I want to be real soft, you know, and you can do that.
Right.
And that your mate is going to give you room to do that. Or no, I'm not for that, but you have options.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And it's an open conversation. It's not, you know, hey, no, nah. When we start mimicking heterosexual relationships, that's when that dynamic changes. That's when it's like, oh, I need you being a man, or you being a woman, you being too much of a man, and you're not enough of a woman. Like that's when that shit start going, when we're mimicking this heterosexual dynamic. So within the heterosexual dynamic, the understanding of what submission is for him and what submission is for her is two different things.
True.
So as a heterosexual male,
Okay.
what do you require submission from your woman, and what does that look like for you?
I'm not going to say I require it, but it's welcome.
Appreciate it.
And appreciate it. And what that looks like for me, again, it's hard for me to tell you what it looks like, because whatever you're giving, I'm giving it to. So I'm not going to say, oh, I want her to do A, B, C. Here's the reality. Just like I was talking to you off camera, and just like you told me, I grew up in a single parent home. I only had my mom. She's taught me how to do for my own self, fend for myself, make sure that I'm okay no matter what.
Yeah.
Okay. So, and that's the same thing I'm teaching my kids. But the reality of it is that I want a woman in my life and a companion. I don't need one. If I'm looking at it from a way of, I need her to do A, B, C, D, E, because I can do all of those things on my own.
Right.
But I want to share my world with someone else. So if she just so happens to desire to do those things in the process, then yes, that is welcomed and appreciated. It doesn't matter what those things are. I want her to come help me, not come do for me. There's a difference.
So is it safe to say that submission for you looks like reciprocation?
Yes, absolutely.
That's exactly
Reciprocation.
what I'm about to say. It's because it's reciprocated. You can understand it.
Absolutely.
But in, I mean, just a general dynamic between man and woman, no, she don't know what that is. And to her, it's kind of frightening, because why I got to do so much for you? And all I'm asking you to do is keep your dick to yourself.
But I'm not going into it thinking that when we're having a conversation on a date and she's asking me, what am I looking for? I'm looking for a woman to submit. I'm not even bringing that up.
Yeah,
that's not even something that we're trying to
it's
converse on.
expected.
See what I'm saying?
It's expected, though.
Because she's a woman.
Because she's a woman.
Because they're naturally nurturing.
Right.
So it's almost like if a woman doesn't, you know, and she goes with her, I'm an independent Black woman that don't need
now she's too dominant.
It's like, what the fuck?
Now you're displaying too much dominance. What the fuck you want me to do?
Yeah. So Blaq, as a woman who dates women, do you feel like you require submission? And if so, what does that look like for you?
I do require submission. And mine looks a lot like acts of service. But that's my love language, you know. So, and it's reciprocated. Whatever's necessary for my wife, that's what's necessary for my wife. When you want me to be soft, I am soft. When I can be hard, I am hard. When I can be interchangeable, this is what you get. But the care is going to be reciprocated equally. It's nothing I'm not going to be able to stop because she needs something. It's not nothing I'm not going to adjust because for anything, mental health, she hungry, she cold, her stomach hurt, her head hurt. It's my job to be a problem solver for her. And regardless if that's what she came to the table asking for, that's what you're finna get, because what I'm asking for is being met. So it's nothing you can ask for that ain't gonna be met. And we don't have a problem with creating that dynamic. It wasn't no ego pull. It wasn't no, hey, I think we should. It was just no.
Submissive shouldn't be an ego.
It shouldn't be.
But it's treated like that. Sometimes.
But it is. That's what I'm explaining to you. That's why the negative connotation with it. Women do want to fix that. They want another understanding of what submission is, but the way society has taught them submission is complete lie. When can we play the clip?
So what we're about to do, y'all, is about to we're going into we was talking about submission itself. Now we're gonna kind of fast forward. We're gonna talk about we're gonna go a little bit deeper. A couple of celebs involved. We're gonna talk about, what's this lady's name?
Watch Jazz.
Whatever that lady name is. We're gonna talk about her. And because she made a post and that kind of what geared our topic for today. So we're gonna talk about that a little bit. But first, we're gonna play videos lined up all the way into that, and then we're gonna dive into it a little bit. So run the tape.
Submissive woman do for her man?
Everything.
What does that mean?
Like packing his bag, unpacking his bag, just making sure all the things that he wants. And I pretty much read his mind. So it's like, if I know you and I study you, like I know how you are in the morning, I know how you are about midday, I know when you're in this mood, what you need. Like before you can ever ask me for something, I'm already on it. I mean, he's spoiled. And when I talk to my girlfriends about it, I was like, oh, how you guys doing? And I'm just like, girl, he's rotten. I'm like, he's spoiled rotten. Like he's rotten. But I love that. Like I want him to be that. I think my biggest flex is how I treat my man. And I've been known to love people back to health. And sometimes it's very draining, but my love is my superpower. And I used to hate that about myself. But now it's like, I'm just embracing it. Like that's who I am. Like if I love you, I can heal you.
It's your joy.
It is my joy. I love to see him eating the meal that I cooked. I love seeing him sleep easy. Every night, like clockwork, I scratch this man's back to sleep. And I know when he's asleep because I can tell when his breathing changes. And some people might think that's psychotic, but that's like, I just know that's when I'm like, oh, I can stop now. But I find joy in being your rest, So know what that means. And that works for us because he wants what I have to offer.
Being submissive.
So what do I think about that?
I think it's cute. It was cute. It was beautiful. Well said.
Yeah.
Unrealistic.
I also think that that's not submissive.
Nope.
None of that is submissive. That is a pleaser. She's pleasing her man.
Being a healer.
Yeah.
That's valid. You could be a healer. Most women are. And you wanting him to be spoiled, valid as well. That has nothing to do with you being submissive though. Absolutely nothing to do with being submissive. So my issue with that would be that what other little girls is gonna see submissive as, and what women that don't know how to be a woman, a grown woman to be, you will get these ideologies of what her understanding of submissive is. Now you finna be a thug.
And she's not, you don't know, and this is my opinion, how can she know if she's being submissive to that man?
That's very valid.
How does she actually know that if he's not telling her that, or if he's not saying that's, what he desired?
And even go ahead.
Who's to say that that's even what he wanted?
Mm-hmm.
Who's to say that she's just doing these things? Like she said something in the video saying something about, I do it before he even says it, or so you're psychic on top of not being submissive, because you're not submissive. You're psychic on top of being a pleaser. And you say you're a healer. Mm-hmm. You say my biggest flex is how I treat my man, and I heal people with my love. Mm-hmm. That's healing people is my superpower.
Yeah.
All of that sounds great.
Beautiful.
Like I'm
Poetry.
talking about if you had a blindfold over my eye,
It'll make you smile.
it would have been
It'll
like,
make-
I want her. Whoever, if I was on a dating game and it was 3 women and she said that on a dating game, I'm like, I want that. I want number 3.
Now,
That's what I want right there. But no, that's unrealistic.
and knowing this particular woman and who she's dating or who she's portraying being submissive for, that's the red flag. That's a big ass red flag.
So allegedly she's saying these things. She's doing these things for Cam Newton. I like Cam Newton, but neither here or there right now. So
but these are the words of Cam Newton.
Yeah, we're gonna roll this. Roll the tape.
And I knew what a woman was, not a bad bitch.
Okay, what's the difference?
A woman.
Okay.
A bad bitch is a person who's just, girl, I'm a bad bitch. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I look the part, but I don't act the part.
Okay.
And it's a lot of women who are bad bitches. And I say bitches in a way not to degrade a woman, but just to go off the aesthetic of what they deem is a boss chick. Now, a woman for me is handling your own, but knowing how to cater to a man's needs, right? And I think a lot of times when you get that aesthetic of like, I'm a boss bitch, like I'm a this, I'm a...
So that's not my first time watching that video, but I caught some words in there, and he said what a woman is to him is somebody that knows how to cater to a man's needs. That's what he said, and I quote. But so what she's doing, honestly and truthfully, is exactly what he wants.
What he asked for, right?
What he asked for, but it's not submissive. That's
It's
not submissive.
She's just catering to. She's just catering to his wants. She just took something she wants, but also this is the same woman that thought different a few months ago. So
She thought different a few months ago.
just a few months ago,
Okay.
it was pick me bitches.
Okay. Roll the tape.
That was
Roll the tape.
Pick-me's are women who try to do everything right just so a man can choose me. Yeah, cut that shit out. Cause I'm gonna keep it real with you. Men already know what they want in a woman and who they want. But if you're so nurturing and you're an asset and it's not you, they'll never tell you to stop doing what you're doing because it's beneficial. And I don't want to hear none of that shit like, oh, I'm just a nice person. I'm genuinely like that. Well, bitch, you gonna genuinely get played. No, it's just that I'm just naturally like that. Like the shit I do for him is natural. And your natural ass is gonna get played. If you are making a man's life easier, i.e. cooking, cleaning, providing pussy whenever he wants, and he's giving you the minimum, he's never going to do more. And he's never gonna tell you to stop because it's beneficial to him. No history in niggadom ever has a man been like, oh, stop doing all this stuff. Stop making my life easier. I don't look at you like that. Hell no, they gonna kick their motherfucking feet up and enjoy these perks without doing no. Stop doing.
You got that, Blaq. You got that. Because I think right now, she's a pick-me. She's a pick-me. At the end of the day, she's doing everything now that she said women shouldn't do. And she's went back on that word, and now she's doing it all.
And she said that she naturally did those things because that's what healing is.
And
That's
she
how
said that's her
does it with
superpower.
love. That's her
So-
superpower.
I feel like she has a lot of characteristics that will make it easy for her to be submissive. But she completely contradicted herself now that this is being portrayed this way. And for Cam Newton to be your pick, he's this decent guy, but if he didn't marry his long-term girlfriend, what makes this?
And had an outside child.
And had, like the story don't look good. It just don't look good. It sounds really good. All of this shit sounded really good. It was real pretty.
I'm with Blaq.
It just
It doesn't look good. But I'm with you on it because I feel like when you put these videos and things like that out here in the atmosphere, this stuff don't go away.
Yeah.
So when you have young girls, young ladies looking at you and or looking up to you, they hear the contradictory in it.
Mm-hmm.
You can't go from talking about, basically, you were talking about women that you are now in so many ways.
In so many ways.
What if she was always that person though?
She was always what, the pygmy?
No, or yeah, which y'all would consider an pygmy, but she
Well,
wasn't
yeah,
in the right
you know what?
situation beforehand to be
Because
that.
it's somebody that'll make you stupid. It's somebody for everybody that'll make you stupid.
Absolutely. Love will make you stupid.
And probably Cam is for her. You know, but I don't want to call it stupid because those are very good traits. You have amazing traits. You want to spoil them. You want to be the healer. You want to be the lover. You want to be those things, and it comes naturally. You know, it's all beautiful things. But wouldn't it be more beautiful if it was organic? You know, not for you having to portray that to keep someone.
It's also a possibility she's doing it because it's Cam.
Because it's Cam,
Like,
you know.
You got to also understand, like, women would do different things for the type of person that they're doing
want
it for.
and that they desire.
And that they desire.
Money talks.
So for the man that's making the same figures that she was making, maybe she can't be a pick-me for.
Yeah.
But Cam Newton, who's
probably elevated her in a
elevated,
different way.
you know what I mean?
Yeah,
she
I
can
can
be
see
a
that.
pick-me for.
So maybe she's cash sexual.
And you smile.
Maybe. Well,
Cool
Maybe.
phrase.
Maybe
You heard
she's
it
cash
first.
sexual. So I'm sure some of y'all probably ain't never heard the word before.
No.
but see, and
Cash sexual are people that move however they want to move, but they're not attracted to anything but the money.
Yes.
But the money. So maybe she's cash sexual. So now she's became a healer, a caterer, a pleaser, a psychic, all that because the cash is right. I'm just saying.
Blaq, you have even said, because women can probably be sexual, but you have said that people will overlook attributes because you're cute, but not realizing that those are still probably, let's say, negative attributes.
big red flag.
Big red flags. So
I
it's
could be
definitely
swinging the
possibility.
flag and they'll miss it.
Mm-hmm. Because if I want something bad enough,
She's just so cute.
the red flags
You do
doesn't
not see
matter.
this flag.
Yeah,
You don't see it?
because the flag doesn't matter if I really desire it. Because if I really want you and you got money, for
But
an example,
You desire
I don't really
something
want you, I want the money.
behind the flag,
right?
right? But guess what's still there? Huh?
Yeah.
You ain't even gonna
But
get
I don't
me.
care about that because I'll sell my soul for that cash. Don't
But
matter.
see, I
You
don't
can
even
have
want
you
to
can
make
have
it
a
that though.
you can have a whole red suit on with the red flag in your hand, and I'm gonna overlook all of that because I'm looking at
But
this
see,
is such and such, and he got such and such.
but you see how it got negative. But see how it, because she could be submissive, but now it got a bag on it. You get what I'm saying?
But that's
True.
So
also
it'd
what
be
she said
hard.
before and after though. It's not us projecting or thinking like, oh, she's only doing this because it's Cam Newton. It's the fact that before she had Cam Newton,
She had a different
she
perspective.
had a whole
You have
different
a different
perspective.
perspective.
But when you get a different type of man in your presence, you got a different perspective, one that's tailored to exactly what he said he wanted as a woman. So she sent her representative and got the man.
So
So I
is
have a
she-
question for y'all then.
Okay.
To kind of go back to what the topic was. So does he not deserve it because of who he is and the things he's done?
No, he does. He has every right to deserve whatever it is that he wants.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's his life.
Okay, because of who he is he entitled to submission?
No man is entitled. I don't give a damn who they are.
Yeah.
No man is entitled to submission.
Mhm.
That's something that is earned, not given.
I guarantee that it's hard to comprehend for the women that's interested in him.
True, because they know who he
Guarantee
is.
is almost like, what do I have to do? How do I have to be? Why is that though?
Okay,
Well,
think this.
status is-
I don't want to cut you off. Think about this for a second. It just came to me. Why is it so hard for a regular man to find a woman that would like to be submissive to him and want to be with him and those things of that sort? But it's so easy for that man with the dollar to get it and he don't even have to ask for it.
Because he can create a submissive woman.
No,
Right?
that's a good answer. But the reality of it is because he has something that she desires. You don't know if that regular dude has what it is that you want, but you know for a fact that this dude got it. So I'm going to do whatever it is to get me to whatever it is that I want.
I get it, but then I don't. For the simple fact
It goes both
that
sides too, man and
women
woman.
have learned submission from regular men and regular women. Like, we gotta understand that this age of glorifying celebrities and all that, it's just became prevalent
Right.
now.
Okay.
So it's not our generation that's technically being influenced by this. It's your Gen Zers and younger.
Mm-hmm.
So we were influenced by the gender roles of our grandfathers and grandmothers and current parents, right? So with that, well, what you're saying, it's definitely possible for women to want to be submissive in that type of way to regular men. It's just that now the cover's blown. That we found out what type of men our grandfathers were and our fathers were, and those stories that were just kept in house. And then people realizing that, oh, we once was raised by the same folks, and realizing that this is a structure and an issue that we have. And y'all have even talked about it in a previous podcast.
Right.
So I think with regular women realizing that these men were also influenced by those regular grandparents and shit like that, no, I don't think I want to be submissive with a man who was also taught toxicity and didn't know he was.
Because we have to ask ourselves, are the high dollar men, do they value the submissive woman more than the regular man do?
Because the same man, one last statement, because the same man that wants that woman at home will go and fuck that bad bitch.
I agree. Peep this though. Think about it. And I hear this all the time, and it's in joking, but I believe it. A regular man has to work for, and show a woman that he's interested in all these other things to get some.
Mm-hmm.
When I've heard women say, oh, yeah, let's just use somebody. Oh, girl, if Chris Brown was right here, I'd give it to him right now. I'd drop my panties for him.
Okay.
But this same man over here, he got to work super hard for you to do that for him. And even then, you ain't going to drop him for him. He going to have to pull him off.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Moral of the story is what I'm trying to say is that because he's Cam Newton, he didn't have to do anything.
I get that.
All she had to do was do what you said. Send her representative and cater to his needs, because peep this. I'm willing to bet you if you go back to his podcast that he created and said everything that he said, I'm bet you she was one of the ones that was viewing that video.
Mm-hmm.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So all the women that like Cam Newton now knew exactly what Cam Newton wanted.
Yeah.
They knew it. So guess what? At the end of the day, all I got to do is just do whatever it is that he said that he wanted, which he made that publicly clear.
Mm-hmm.
And long as I got the body and everything else, I'm in.
I get that. But I also feel like realistically, when women say they'll drop their panties for Chris Brown, it's a fantasy.
We
know it's something that's not going to happen.
It's a figure.
Just like
that's not true though.
I know happy men that would say, I love my wife. That's my wife. I won. But if Meg the Stallion walk in the room, she gonna have to take one for the team. Me and my wife that had that.
They mean that.
It ain't a lie.
They mean that, but the reality of it is that they're saying that it's unrealistic.
The team ain't realistic.
No.
It's all
it ain't realistic, but it can happen. If it did happen, you'll be taking one for the team.
But it ain't happening.
There ain't an option. It ain't an option.
And you know what?
But it could.
If that wife or that husband got to take one for the team, you are submitted.
Yes, you are.
You are submitted.
You're absolutely right.
I fairly loved your definition of submission in a relationship.
Because I've learned, I've been on all sides of the spectrum. I've been married, I've been divorced, I've been in long-term relationships. I've seen it all. And I understand that I don't think men get enough credit for the things that they submit to, because they do it.
Okay.
It's not that it's unrealistic. I think because of the old school days, we've just highlighted women being submissive.
Mm-hmm.
But men were being submissive back then too.
True.
We don't know what the circumstances was and things of each marriage or each relationship, but the reality of it is it takes two. In order to have a successful relationship, both parties have to submit.
Yep.
Right.
You're submitting to that woman, whether you want to acknowledge it or not, and you're submitting to that man, whether you want to acknowledge it or not.
Mm-hmm.
The reality of it is that it don't matter. It don't matter if it's a heterosexual relationship or a lesbian relationship. I don't care. Two people have to submit in order to have a successful relationship.
Yep.
That's part of it. And it's really not submitting. It's called being vulnerable, which is what I talked about last night. You got to allow yourself to be vulnerable. Being vulnerable just so happens to be a part of submitting.
Yeah.
They go hand in hand.
They do. But I think what people issue with that and all that, I agree with 100% of all that. But now people are realizing, mostly women, is that men submit as a response to her doing it first. You have to see and vet this woman through this process of like, yeah, she worth me submitting to her. She's worth me being vulnerable with her. You have even said that men don't have that safe space to be vulnerable.
True.
So women have to create that first.
True.
Being first and all that is a response.
Absolutely.
And I think nowadays women aren't on that, I need to do this first.
Right.
Women are looking for you to be
partner.
Right. So I think
somebody got to give,
if
though,
somebody
right?
got to give something.
Somebody have to give to, in order for the other person to be able to give as well.
Right. But it's the woman in this type of situation that has to give first for that man to be like, yeah, I can let my hair down with her. Yeah, I can give her really me. And on the flip side of that, because I don't think this is only men's responsibility with that, when a man greets a woman first with his vulnerability, he then becomes more feminine.
That's a very scary situation.
Yeah.
Like for a man, that's a scary situation. For me to come in vulnerable right off the gate, not knowing how you're going to look at me, not knowing how you're going to judge me, not knowing if you're going to want to talk to me after I do this.
Yeah.
Like, no, you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
When I think about it now, no, I wouldn't be the first person to show that. I'm going to have to see what I'm working with.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So I can see if this is a comfortable, like you said, a comfortable, safe space for me to let my hair down and say, you know what? She's deserving of have all of me.
Yes.
Because there's always, women give everything. I give y'all that. Y'all, when y'all really want somebody, really like somebody, y'all 100%, y'all dive all the way in. When a man, he only giving you about 80%. He gonna keep 20% in the closet, because the reality of it is not because he don't want to give you that 100%. It's because, he doesn't want to give you that extra 20, and you look at him differently afterwards.
Yes.
We take you all, bad hair, bad makeup, we don't give a damn. We don't care. If we want y'all, that's how we take y'all. But sometimes, if we give y'all all of us, y'all take steps backwards.
I agree with that.
And that's why it's always you giving everything and him giving 80.
And I think,
but then it's dangerous too, though, because you give 80, she give 100. At some point, you gotta ask, like, how long is she gonna give me 100? And when do I decide if
I'm asking?
You're gonna give that extra 20,
I'm not asking that question.
Back.
I'm asking the other question. I'm asking.
But that's a good one.
I'm asking, when is she gonna realize that I'm only giving 80?
And she takes her
that's
20
a game.
That's what I'm asking. That's what I'm asking.
That's
myself.
when she end up doing the you on you.
Right.
Because you teaching her exactly how you like
you
things.
Because a woman don't know.
Start playing.
A woman doesn't know that you're only giving 80. Trust me, y'all don't know that. She doesn't know that. But whenever she finds out, that's where you're gonna have to fix that.
I disagree. I think women are now waking up to the fact that men are only giving 80, and now they don't want to give you shit. And that's why women don't want to give 40, and that's why they don't want to give 70, and that's why they'll give you a glimpse of 100 and be like, but you ain't really gonna get the 100. Because they keeping pieces to themselves too. And men aren't realizing that women aren't giving 100% anymore until we now vocalize the fact that, no, I'm not going to submit to you. When she probably felt like that the whole time.
She was ready and willing to give it. And because you wasn't willing to give her what it is.
The game.
You know.
So how do we
definitely using it.
So how do we resolve? Like, do we have to go? Do we have to do a check-in every 3 months to say, hey, how much you giving today?
I still think that in a previous podcast that it's necessary at the 3 months.
No, but that's what I'm saying. So like at the end of the day, I'm talking. I know about the check-in. I'm talking about okay. So we need to talk now. We need in the part of this check-in. We need to say, "Oh, you giving 40 right now? All right, let me get up to 40."
I think it starts with you being honest with yourself. Like, do I really 3 months in? You like, do I really still want to do this shit? Am I really rocking it?
Communication is the one and only solution to relationship problems. You don't know what you're fixing until you know what you're dealing with.
But you also don't know what you're asking. So I think a lot of times you having these communication
you don't know
issues.
What you're asking.
Let's say we do communicate.
Okay.
But we're not asking the real shit.
then you're not communicating.
I used to call it uncomfortable conversations, and
You
I
gotta
used to
say
like announce that shit like, "Hey,
No, it's not that
Can
you're
we have
trying
an
to avoid
uncomfortable
it.
conversation?
It's not that you're trying to avoid it. Maybe you just don't know what to ask.
You don't know the words.
You just don't know what to ask.
maybe you
Maybe-
should start with how you feel." Then be like, if you don't know the question, you know what you're feeling.
Right.
You know,
Give
you
me
know
a
that. You know,
scenario.
like this doesn't make me feel good. And she will probably start asking the question like, "What you mean? What I do? What was it? This part? Was it that part?"
But that's a scary situation too, because women got this.
Scary.
Women got.
Communicating
I know.
is
No,
scary.
communicating not scary. I'm okay with that. But women got this thing called intuition that be sometimes wrong.
Yes.
And the thing is that I'm telling you that there's nothing wrong with me and I'm fine, and you're saying that I'm off. I just told you nothing is wrong with me, but I'm fine. I might be thinking about something that's nothing, not even affecting anything. But you're telling me
she didn't ask you what was wrong with her. She asked
Or
you what
the
was wrong.
relationship.
I get
So
that.
if you telling her nothing's wrong because nothing's wrong in a relationship, don't mean nothing's wrong with you. You're trying to process something.
So
the
women,
communication would be, I'm trying to process some work shit. I'm trying to process my own shit. I'm trying to process something. I'm just in my head.
The
That
question
ain't gonna get you off the gas though.
It
It
probably
will.
will.
It
If
will.
you know, because then I know it ain't got nothing to do with me, and it's nothing I can do to help.
right.
This is your problem and your solution.
Right.
Fine.
You let them know
You
I'm
get
here
what I'm
for you.
saying?
You keep
But saying
pushing.
no, and I know your energy, I'm gonna be like, okay, so then what is this?
'Cause
Now you
you're
finna
lying.
make a problem between us.
Energy is not everything,
Yes, the
y'all.
fuck
No,
it
it ain't.
is.
Because sometimes, hey,
Everything's energy.
sometimes a motherfucker just want to chill.
It's
He just
true,
want
That's
and
enough
so
too.
is communicating.
So
That's
my-
it. I just
Let,
wanna
hold on.
chill.
Let me put y'all on game because I know
I do
y'all,
it all the time.
y'all call it being psychic. What she explained in the video, y'all said it's being psychic. I know that experience. I know what it feels like to be. I literally could call it, and the shit would happen. I know what that's like. If I'm really connected to you,
Yeah.
I'm supposed to know that you are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That is literally my job. I'm supposed to know.
I ain't gonna be
damn,
on all the time.
They kinda-
You
Damn.
don't have to.
They
It's valid.
You and sometimes your partner know when you off and you don't even know.
Oh, because I'm gonna tell you.
But
I'm gonna
comes
tell
with
you,
a lot of conversation.
Sometimes I don't even know I'm off. I might just be
I
chilling.
start immediately like, oh, I can't believe I'm still in this motherfucking day. I need a break today. I need a break. I need a real break. I need to sit up.
But I think that also go with if you know your partner, like if Story told you was off and you didn't feel off, you might be like,
And that's
damn, I might be off because she's gonna pick up on it before you might even pick up on it,
Mhm.
and then
She also
2-3
could be
minutes
speaking
later.
something in existence that's not even there.
So
Gotta
I
be
will speak
careful.
to that as Story. I had to realize with my partner was to what Dion just said, that they're not going to be on all the time,
True.
and that their ownness even may look different, or their offness may even look different.
Mhm.
What part you take with you, and what part has nothing to do with you.
Mhm.
And that's very hard to do when you really love and care about somebody and you just want to fix it.
Mhm.
My issue was I have always been a fixer. Like wherever it is, I don't give a fuck. I'm gonna find a solution. I don't care what it is, I'm gonna find one. And that can also be an aggravation
Absolutely.
to your partner.
Mhm.
So then you have, just like Blaq said, creating an issue in your relationship that was not there.
Sometimes you just gotta let it go and just pray about
Just
it.
let it go and let them be.
and then someone said we ask because we're concerned and it's our nature to try and help. And yes,
I'm
energy is
looking, I'm trying to see
everything.
it. Oh yeah, I can see that. Well, this is pretty dope. I can't see it, but I can see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
And
cool.
I
Say it
agree with
again.
her.
Say it again.
So she said, we ask because we're concerned and it's our nature to try to help. And yes, energy is everything.
Energy is everything.
I'm not agreeing with energy and everything.
It is
Shit.
everything.
I ain't agreeing with that. I'm
But-
a dog
and-
with not
and
agreeing
just,
with that.
And just as if when you in a situation where your energy is off, it's just pinpoint.
But
You
why do
processing
women?
it anyway.
So why do women immediately think when a man's energy is off, is something wrong? They did something. Like you didn't do
So,
it's
anything.
not about them
It ain't
thinking
about
they did
them.
something.
It's
They
not
know
about-
that
we're
something
not
is
asking
off.
you what we did wrong.
No.
We saying that something is wrong. Now, when you think of wrongness, it's like, oh, it's terrible, it's horrible. What we really
Absolutely.
should be asking you is, what's on your mind?
Or you should be asking me, am
What's
I
on your
okay?
mind?
Or are you okay? And
Right.
some people hate, are you okay? I had a friend that hated me asking her, are you okay? Because it implied that something was wrong with her.
Mhm.
So it's really like knowing your partner. So if I ask Blaq, what's wrong with you? And she says nothing wrong, I immediately turn it to, okay, then what's on your mind? And she's like, I just can't believe it ain't tomorrow yet. I can't believe I was at work for 10 fucking hours, had these many cancellations, and I'm still gonna do this shit tomorrow.
But
like,
in all honesty, though, Blaq is still a woman. So you're gonna say it. Most men, what's wrong with you? Oh, I'm good.
It's hard to
Oh,
communicate.
what's on your
You
mind?
okay?
Nothing.
I'm good.
Like
Men
shit.
find it
God
hard
damn
to
it.
communicate.
Leave me alone.
But
And if
when
I
you
want to
don't-
come talk to you, then I'll come talk to you.
But on the flip side of that, Blaq may still be a woman, but Blaq lives in her masculine energy
Right.
full time. So before I create a safe space where she can say that this is what's on her mind, she didn't say that. It was just, I'm okay. Because a lot of time people be like, oh, you're going crazy, or you're doing this, or you're doing that, or like, why are you so stressed out about something that's small? Sometimes women, us as women, minimize our mate's feelings. And it happens a lot to men than us, because it's like, well, that ain't that too big of a deal. Let's just do X, Y, and Z. And we think we're fixing the situation, but really, you just said what you're feeling ain't shit.
I'm not that safe with nobody, not even my own mama. I ain't safe with nobody.
And you probably won't ever be, because one, you're taught not to be. You've probably been living in that way for years. And we're talking about not even trauma, we're just talking about conditioning. And when people are conditioned a certain type of way, it takes a lot to undo that conditioning.
She be trying.
And then again, I
She be trying.
disagree. I disagree 1,000%. Because when he got something on his heart, he gonna say it.
He says it to certain people, though.
Yeah,
Well,
but I can count on
then
I can count on some
I
fingers. I can count on
disagree
my
that
fingers.
he don't have that safe space, because I'm one of his safe spaces.
Yeah.
You know, so
But it's a safe space that you earned, because Dion 2 years ago, like, all right, y'all, holler at you later. And the whole time in the session, we're like, he was okay. You think he was okay? Oh, that you will make a joke like, oh, that nigga was mad today because he made us do 500 burpees. And I'm like, damn, you stayed? Like, it was those type of situations. But it wasn't until he could trust you. It was a period of time he didn't call you sis. Like, he give you your levels. You just got to read him and know when you done hit that level. I was storied for the first year before I became sis. And I became sis initially through y'all's relationship. You got to pick up on those pointers. And if you will miss it, and if you miss it, then you're devaluing the appreciation that he has for you. And that's what women don't do in relationships anymore.
I think I got an issue when people ask me what's wrong.
Then say that. You remember when you said it's important to hear I love you? Because you didn't hear it. And from that day, every time I leave, I say, well, I love you. Because you have to say what it is what's necessary.
It's like I'm thinking 2 steps ahead. It's like when you ask me what's wrong, if you know something is wrong, why are you asking me what's wrong? Like, that's where I'm at. That's the way I process.
But what if it wasn't? What if
Mama
you was
did that
just
to me
chilling?
a couple of weeks ago. I'm like, Mama,
you know what I mean?
I'm
What if
just
you
not
was
in the
just
mood
chilling and she
asking
wanted
me
to
what's
know?
wrong. Like, I don't even want to talk to you right now. I'm gonna go.
What if you're in
Okay,
a relationship and your partner is like, I don't feel like being a wife today. Today, I just want, and it doesn't mean I want to go cheat or fuck on or talk to another woman. It just means I don't want to do all the shit that takes to be your wife. Your mushiness, your kisses, your touchy feelings, and let's go on a date. Today, I want to sit in my chair and be a person. Just that has no responsibilities.
I wish I could do that.
I think people should be able to say that. And it wasn't until my wife told me that, I'm like, damn, why you ain't said that? You give me a couple of dollars, I'll leave the house for the day, baby.
But it's hard.
You say that to the wrong woman,
it'll break her.
She's done. She's done with you.
I'm your
She's done with you.
But
so
you gotta know your mate, and it wasn't out of no disrespect. Like, hey, I don't want to be nobody's wife right now. You know, and I ain't going nowhere. I ain't finna do nothing. But I can't do shit.
I personally would rather a person say, I don't feel like being your wife today, than me feeling like I'm being a bugaboo, because I don't handle rejection well. And my wife knows that. So if you announce to me what's on your heart or your feelings, so today you just kind of want to be in your bubble, then I can give you your space.
It might not have nothing to do with you, so I'm really protecting you in the process.
Yeah.
That's me as a man.
Like,
That's what I'm
in a
so I
space.
don't have nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
So it's like, why am I going to put you in something that has nothing to do with you? I get it. You care. All that other sentimental shit. That's cool. But the reality of it is I am protecting you by not telling you.
I get that. But what you also are doing is pushing her out. So when you're in that headspace, right, or where you figuring shit out, right? Because I know you like a problem solver to the T, and you silent with your shit, right? So if you're figuring that out and she's not used to your silence, she will automatically assume that she did something wrong, especially
Because
depending
you ain't
on
communicating
who
out
you're
to her.
communicating that to. So if you said exactly what you said, like, hey, I just got something I'm processing, I'm working through, and
give me a few hours.
I just need some time.
Give me a few days.
Give
You know,
get what
but
I need.
say
You
what-
can be in my
say
face,
what
you
it
can
is.
sit here, but shut up. You can be in the room.
That
Y'all
That
got
was
some people
easy.
that got some
It
valid
is that
points.
easy though.
Well, we need to
One
read those.
person, well, I was trying to cut y'all asses off. One person said, because we don't know what exactly is wrong, we just know you're bothered. Someone else said, because as a partner, we carry the burden with you, no matter what it is. And
Oh, you
then
ain't carrying some
one
of
other
the
person
burdens.
said,
If they
how the hell are you protecting her by not telling her? Hell no. So you lying to her, which causes more issues.
That's not lying.
Right.
That's not lying. Who said?
because it's reflecting.
Young.
You didn't
I don't
state
know what it is.
you didn't
But
state
oh yeah, I
that
do know this.
she ain't a problem. You just
Say what she said. Say what Stephanie said one more time.
She said, how the hell are you protecting her by not telling her? Hell no.
This
So
is
you
how I'm
lying-
protecting her. This is how. So pause.
Lying by omission is she
Listen,
clarified.
Okay,
I
so
don't
listen,
like-
so
I don't
listen,
like that
so listen, Stephanie. This is how
understand that,
this is
though.
how I'm
She
protecting you.
does.
I am protecting you because this has, even though you care, even though you love me, all this other great stuff. This situation right here, baby, has absolutely nothing to do with you. And hold on, and only I can fix it. I don't want you involved with something that is nothing that you can do about. Absolutely nothing. That's like when a loved one is in the hospital and you want to be there, but you know that there's nothing that you can do, and all you're doing is just sitting there waiting.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's better, hold on, sometimes it's better to just go ahead and continue to do life. Go to work, do what you need to do to keep your mind at ease.
Yeah.
Versus just sitting there in the hospital, just waiting. I don't want you sitting in the hospital, just waiting on me. Go finish doing what you got to do. If I'm laid up in the hospital, don't you sit there on my bedside talking about I was just sitting here waiting on you. Go finish doing the assignment, whatever that assignment might be at that moment. But that's me as a man.
But that's the concerning part. As men, y'all will say, oh, I'm fine, especially if it's nothing to do with the woman. But then in the same breath feel like the woman is never there for you.
I wouldn't do that. If I excluded you out, I wouldn't blame you for it.
So
I won't do that. But I get what you're
But if you
saying.
exclude them out
I
of a
know.
lot, then you kind of be like, well,
Right.
damn,
If
shit,
I
this bitch
exclude
ain't
you
never
out
there
of
for
something,
me.
I'm not going to make it seem like later on, oh, you weren't there for me when I needed you. I wouldn't do that. I know people that do that though.
Yeah, they do.
I know people that do
They
it, but
Like,
I wouldn't do
pushed
that.
me out. What the fuck
No,
am
I
supposed
pushed
to
you
do?
out. That means this was something something I wanted to walk through alone.
So I don't like the lying about omission shit. I don't think omitting is lying, not one bit. And probably because I'm naturally secretive. I don't even think secretive.
I'm not
just
secretive. That's not the
naturally
word for me. I'm
to
private.
myself.
Secretive.
I'm
private.
private.
I'm naturally private. I like that one.
I'm private. I'm not
But-
secretive.
Oh,
I'm
y'all
private.
gotta find a word for anything.
But wait,
I've been
hear me
there with
out. If I was to tell, you also should know your partner. You know what you can and can't tell your partner. If I be like, yeah, my cousin fucked me over and did X, Y, and Z and stuff like that, and I bring that to my wife,
And I don't want her beefing with my cousin because we might relate. We might
we
make
may
up.
be okay later on in the
Yes.
year.
And you still beefing.
That shit
Oh,
dead.
I get it.
But now
See
we
what I'm
take
saying? I
over
get
family
that.
functions and shit.
Right.
Ain't no
Now
fucking
you
Right.
Side-eyeing them.
Right.
Bitch over there.
Right. So I don't want to do
Side-eye
that.
what?
So I'm protecting you. So that's protecting
That's
you.
protecting
like
you.
coming
That's
over there.
protecting my feelings.
So Stephanie, you got that? That's
So-
protecting.
So sometimes protecting is necessary, Stephanie. I'm just putting it out
So
there. Sometimes
Stephanie
we'll tell
asks,
everybody
so would
everything.
you rather her not ask how you're feeling at all?
No, that's extreme.
It's like
Um,
what is what is
like, what
straight
do
to
you
the
do?
day. You
Yeah,
said,
like,
no,
how do you
brother, I'm
handle
here
it?
and you ain't saying nothing, so I say nothing at all.
I'm
Yeah.
saying, hold on.
Women-
So
I
let me
will say, before you say that, I will say,
You go
it's only
Steph.
so many times that a woman will ask, because I'm like, Story, I have a problem with rejection.
Mhm.
So if you constantly reject me, telling me it's nothing, I'm fine. When I feel that you're off, I'm gonna keep it to myself. I'm supposed to know you off,
Mhm.
but I'm gonna keep it to myself, because at the end of the day, if it ain't nothing, if I can't do anything but support you and be like, I got your back, I'm gonna do that.
take my response is all I'm gonna say to answer her question.
Ooh,
So
we got another
I-
statement. I'll read
but
afterwards.
to answer her question, what I would say is if you ask me, am I okay? And I say, baby, I'm okay, take that.
Mhm.
Don't be like, oh shit, I know something. I'm gonna ask them again later. I know something. You're pressing the issue.
Yeah.
If I say I'm okay, take that I'm saying that I'm okay and leave it there. And if I want to come to you with it, then I'll come to you with it. But let it be.
I try to make a situation where I'm creating a way for you to be okay. So, for example, if Dion asks you what's wrong with you, right? You say I'm your lady,
Mhm.
and you're like, nothing, I'm good. And I'm like, I can tell something's off. And you're like, well, it's nothing to talk about. I'm like, well, okay. Would you
I'm
like a
ignoring you
bubble
after that.
bath? You want something to eat, nigga? Like, I'm gonna start giving you things that can at least help you streamline your process and be comfortable while you're going.
And that's fine. But don't keep asking me, are you sure? Am I okay?
Yeah.
You sure? Well, I sent something. Is now you became a goddamn prophet.
Right.
So now you want. I don't want all that. I need you.
That's the answer for Stephanie. She said, "Do you rather for me not to ask you at all?" Like, no.
No, just ask me one time, and if I say I'm okay, good.
But if you feel like you need a position in whatever they're going through, your position is now to offer comfort, and it's not you as the comfort. It's what makes them comfortable.
You want to make me comfortable?
Dion likes food.
Yeah.
Even if that nigga ate 30 minutes ago, go get him some fruit.
Yeah.
Go get him something.
That's very valid, though. That's very valid. That's what I would say. You hungry?
But I'm saying, like, if I say I'm okay,
You got some people agreeing with you. I'm just waiting so I can read it.
I know it.
I'm
But
trying to give you
if
your
I say
thoughts.
I'm okay, then just let that be. I promise you, if you've
But
created
it
a safe
it
space
doesn't
for me,
show that. I
but listen
remember
to
that
me.
day you made us do those 100 burpees. I was just like, somebody go get him a coffee. Like, why is y'all sitting here?
But if you leave, if
Like,
you
I was
create
like,
a
go
safe
get
space
something.
for me, and you
Shit.
say, "Hey, babe, are you okay?" and I say, "Yes, I'm okay." If you've created a safe space for me in our relationship, I promise you, I'm going to come back and talk to you about it.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to learn how to be patient.
I think that's fair.
You have to learn how to be patient. Be patient with me, because the reality of it is that in that moment, I just might not want to talk about it because I don't want to lash out on you or anything in that moment. But if you just give me a little time,
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, I'll tell you everything you want to know.
Mm-hmm.
But you got to create that safe space first.
Y'all gonna let me read these comments? You got people agreeing
Go
with you
ahead.
over here. I
What
can't.
flowers that I gave to the
I'm
private?
trying to give him his flowers.
All the other
Damn.
private people in the world.
So I hope I hope I don't butcher this person's name. I'm gonna say Levine Reese said exactly.
Lavion.
Huh?
Lavion.
Lavion. Sorry, Lavion Reese said exactly. Then they be steady asking, "What can I do?" or get someone else's opinion on how to help when it's nothing they can do. Love me enough to let me be.
Okay.
Britt said, "No, after that, let him know if he needs something to talk to you. You're always there. Leave it at that."
Yeah.
And then Lavion said, "Yes, that can get irritating."
Yeah.
So I was trying to give you a flower. I was just saying, you got people
because it
agreeing with
does.
you over
It's,
here.
then you come from being, now you go from, to me, this is me. You go from being concerned to being fucking nosy.
But see, I don't even let
That's-
it get that far. If you ask me what's up and I say nothing and you say, "Oh, well, what's on your mind?" or ask me again, I'm gonna say, "Oh, wait, nothing's going on. We all good. I'm just processing." It's not even gonna go that
but you
far for me.
communicate fully.
What you process? Oh, come on, let's walk. Let's
Okay.
walk through this.
Let's walk through this. If she say, "What's up? What you processing? The world ending?"
Why are you thinking about that?
I'm always thinking about that.
Well, you shouldn't be thinking about that right now.
It
Wait,
ain't
but
for me or you to decide that it's on my mind.
I'm telling you, this is how
No,
these
no,
fucking
but listen,
conversations
wait,
be
wait,
going.
That
Wait,
will irritate me though.
Exactly.
But hold on.
I don't like, because we're about to die, bitch.
if Blaq said, "I'm just processing something and I need to be left alone right now,"
She didn't say that.
that's why I said, if she would have said that, you couldn't come back
You
and
want
be
to know
like,
what? No, bet.
But
I would
see,
have.
but-
I would have been like, "Okay, baby, you sure?" Because I sense something is off. Because that's what people do to me.
and then you say, "Yeah," and then what she gonna? Yeah.
No, you
Oh,
want to know what that's
wait,
going to
let me-
create? I'm gonna flip, and I'm
I'm
gonna
gonna
go on
start
Black.
staring at you.
Because now it's gonna be like, what you sensing? That's what you would say. You see what I'm saying? Like, because at that point now I'm irritated.
See, I'm
But
old.
you-
See, I'm
see,
glad my partner know me.
But on the flip side, knowing your partner and giving them that grace that they need to have, it's very easy to have the same conversation, leave them fuck alone. Like,
Because I stare at you and that's it.
play the same role. What's wrong with you?
Nothing.
How was your day then?
Sorry.
What was on your mind today?
Don't remember.
Shit. Did you get to smoke?
Nope.
I see you later.
Because you
And
already
the
know.
thing.
Want to know why?
And
Because you know that, hey, maybe she needs smoke.
she needs to smoke. So
If I'm giving the one word answers like that, she gonna okay.
I'm,
She gonna-
at some point I'm gonna play my game, and
Mhm.
eventually
Leave
she's gonna
it
go in there and be
alone.
like, "You hungry? How was your day?"
Or if I sure talking like that, she'll wait and she'll be like, "Well, my day was fine."
I'm gonna still have the conversation because you said nothing's wrong.
Look,
with
and
you.
I'll be like,
Right, I'm talking
you gotta
to
be
me now.
look, and then I automatically like, okay, get out your head. What's how is it? You know,
and I think women can be able to do that. If I ask you what's wrong and you tell me you okay, and I eventually take that, I'm going to go on with what the fuck I'm doing.
I just really need her to take that. Whoever that, I just
Yes.
need them to take that. Like,
Yes.
take that. I'm
You
okay
can't
in that
stay
moment.
on all the time. I'm on
Yes.
all the time. So as soon as I leave that shop, I'm trying to hit that switch. By the time I make it to the car, I'm elsewhere.
Yep.
I'm no longer there.
Sometimes I don't even want to talk to my own kids. I'm like, man, I don't want to talk to nobody.
Yeah.
I just want to sit and lay in my bed and look at the wall.
Be quiet.
After an exhausting
Like-
day, all I want to give me a kiss and shh.
Yeah.
I've been doing
But
this all
I
day.
think it's important to say that because that wasn't how our conversation was. A lot like what y'all did
Mhm.
first. Before I finally asked the right question, like you said, you don't know sometimes the question you are asking them.
Right.
And when I finally asked the right question, like, what does this mean when you say you okay and I can tell you off?
Yep.
And it was, I just don't really feel like doing all the layers of shit
Absolutely.
of being in a relationship today. It clicked. It's like, okay, I don't have to take ownership of this person's problems.
Yes.
And honestly, that's a lot less pressure than feeling like you gotta fix it for this person.
Right, because sometimes it has absolutely nothing. You have to still remember relationally, and even in a marriage, you might be one, but you're still individuals.
Yes.
And it is totally okay for this individual to be off and this individual to be on, or vice versa.
Right on.
That is totally okay. That doesn't mean that you finna go down to the courthouse to Frank Crowley and get a divorce tomorrow.
Right.
That just means that, hey, one person is off. Remember, y'all are one, but y'all ain't walking hand in hand all day.
Every day the
Yeah,
same thing.
everything is not going. You work here, she works there. You see two totally different lives. You at a shop dealing with folks all day. She at a library trying to get people to stop trying to kill each other. Like, it doesn't matter. So when we get home, I need to decompress. I need to decompress.
Two completely different ways.
And
Yes.
yes, that's also important that your decompression may look different. Sometimes my decompression is going over what my day was like with her, like exactly what I had to do. Sometimes it's me going in the room and playing my game, and she like, well, damn, you ain't gonna spend no time with me today.
Mhm.
And then I like click like, oh shit, I didn't ask. We didn't do
We
our
didn't
No
dollar.
homework.
exchange today.
We ain't
We ain't dollar.
unravel today. You're right. I'll be with you. I'm on a mission. And she'll give me that. She'll give me that. But a lot of times men or masculine presenting would give us soft folks their grace. We don't know how to give it back. And I'm
Yes.
only saying that as being accountable for what I have had created before, where it's like, I give you your space when you
Stephanie,
need it,
what's your
and I don't know
question?
how to give it back.
Stephanie said question, so I'm asking, what's your question, Stephanie?
What's up, Stephanie?
She need a visit. She got some
Oh,
she got good questions.
So it says, you are a man that needs silence to unwind. What if you have a woman that needs your aura for her to unwind? Then what?
I still need her to give me that so I can be able to give her what she needs. She has to understand that. You have to, sometimes life is about compromising. I still need her to understand that in order for you to get the best version of me, I need you to allow me this time.
Yes.
You have to. If my aura is what you feeding off of, then let me get my aura together so I can give you that. You know what I'm saying? I get that. I totally understand it. But the reality of it is that if you're just gonna come smother me trying to get my aura, and what if I don't have none at this moment?
Yeah.
So now you mad, and I'm mad because you done smothered me, because now I'm super pissed, because I was already pissed probably when I walked through the door,
Yeah.
and you didn't give me that moment. That's why you'll notice that some people, when they get home from work, they'll pull up to the driveway of their house and they just sit in the damn car.
Yes.
Because they know they have to take this hat off and put this hat on, whether it's husband, whether it's daddy, whether it's whatever, son.
Sometimes you ain't
whatever.
got nobody in the house and you still got to do it.
Right,
Because
but
you're a whole
it's
different person.
two totally different auras. I
You
know
got
some
a dog
people.
that wants you to be a parent.
I know some people that when they walk in the door of their home, when they get off work, they take all their clothes off. They're trying to leave whatever aura was on them clothes and what was on them at the door.
Yeah.
Whatever it is that you got to do to decompress from your day to where you can be the best version of yourself when you get home, allow your mate to have that. Whether it's 30 minutes, whether it's an hour, allow them to have that so they can give you the best version of themselves. And that's it. It's simple.
I agree with that. And another way just to answer your question, Stephanie, I'm a person that decompresses within my partner. The best time, like you should know your moments. So the best moment for me to decompress with my wife it's over dinner. She done had her drive home. She
Mhm.
done smoked. She done chilled. She done got her thoughts together. And she would even, after time, would just announce like, what you want to eat. And then as soon as we start talking about that and I slide in, so how was your day? Or my day was like this. Like you take those
Now
moments
she's
of
more
when it's a
receptive.
moment. Yeah.
There you
Because
go.
she done had a moment to her thoughts. And sometimes after that exchange, she needs to go right back into her moment. Because she just refilled enough to give you that.
Absolutely.
Be grateful for those times. Be thankful. Because it's not always like that. Sometimes they're immediately on to be, let you decompress in my aura. But you also got to understand those days when they can't give you that. Like nobody can give you water from their cup if theirs not full. That makes you a robber. So why would you want to put them in that position in the first place?
That's why I don't like scheduling things like when I get off work.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm
Like
bad
do
with
not
Bad.
try to schedule something immediately when I get off work.
That's when I become a liar.
That's
I'm gonna go and 30 minutes before.
That's when I go
Hey,
crazy
hey,
because
hey,
now
I be like,
I don't have that time to switch hats.
Yeah.
Like emergencies, that's different. If I had to leave her and go deal too with my kids, that's something totally different. You know how to do that. But to just be like, oh, when you get off at 7, we're supposed to be here at 7:30. No, we won't be there at 7:30 because I'm finna have my damn time.
I'm gonna be irritated.
Yeah, and I don't want to go to wherever it is that we gotta go like that.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So because it's already bad enough that I gotta leave here, probably get dressed here, drive there. When I get there to whoever these damn folks is, they not gonna like me.
Yeah.
Damn, Dion show was quiet. Not everything all right, girl?
Or when I get there, they're gonna ask the whole time, "You okay? You sure you're all right? You all right?"
And then
I
they're gonna
am
ask your
okay.
partner later, like, so what was up?
Oh, they gonna
Like,
text them,
like,
call
you know
them,
what I mean?
and
I
all
was
that.
okay. I just shouldn't go from one thing to the next. so
Absolutely
quick.
not.
You know what I
Absolutely
mean?
not.
I need to stop. So when you ask me to do something after work, yeah, sure. If it's important enough, yeah. But I may be a little different. I may be a bit different when I get there. I'm not gonna talk as much. I'm not gonna be on like I am in the shop or like I am here. I am prepared for those exchanges.
Oh, it's gonna be
But
a quiet
once I
ride
get
there.
to the shop, I'm already thinking about my last client.
Mhm.
Before the first client, I'm already thinking about the last client.
I'm breaking my days up in halves.
Now, unfortunately, for some people, and this is being realistic, and I'm playing devil's advocate because I've been there. Unfortunately, it sometimes do suck that you're getting the lesser of you at that point. Like I'd have been on all day for these people, and then you come home and it kind of feels like now you're giving me your ass to kiss. That you didn't save a little bit for me or nothing like that. So with having that discussion of how that made you feel as well, then that lets your partner knows that every time I can't do this. Sometimes let's give me that up front.
But that sounds like something that's unrealistic. That sounds like a mate that's been at home all fucking day.
Not necessarily.
You know what I'm saying? Because
everybody don't drain the same. So my job is at the library and her job is as a barber. I don't got to talk to people that many. It's a quiet space.
Understood.
Some days I'm reading books.
Right.
Sometimes I'm thinking about, I can't wait to talk to her when I get home because I've been quiet all day.
Understood.
And then some days I am trying to diffuse situations and save lives and shit like that when that comes up.
Right.
And those days are the days where I probably ain't got nothing for you neither.
True.
So it's about balance, I guess. On those days, I'll announce it. I will text, can't wait to see you. So you already know what the fuck I'm on when I see you.
True.
You already know, like, girl, I can't wait to tell you
And then what's crazy is I will prepare for that. I will prepare for that. She decided to see me or whatever and say something happened or transpire between that message and her coming home where she don't have that energy no more. I gotta quickly adjust.
Mm-hmm.
So it's a two-way street.
Like,
That's
hey,
it's all about
that ain't the energy I expected. I thought you were gonna be happy to see me. You're not happy to see me.
No,
I started asking questions like, "What's up?" You just said
you was ready.
Right. But sometimes allowing your partner to know, like, well, damn, when I get home, I gotta still see what's up with Bae because she done sent me that little text today or had that little quick phone call, little powwow. Then you are able to adjust to that as well. But not to expect it all the time. Like Stephanie was saying, like, I decompress in your aura and shit like that. You're not going to get that all the time. And sometimes people can't give their partner grace. And sometimes that on the flip side, you can't give your partner grace.
Right.
It's like, yeah, it can't always be, that's just how I am. I need to be quiet when I get home. Well, today I went through something. I need to talk.
Yeah, life
it
evolves. But when you're doing what we do, being entrepreneurs and fitness and styling and cutting hair, like you become counselor all day,
Yes.
all day. And your mate needs to understand the severity of that.
Yes.
Because it is super duper draining
Yes.
to be here all day and you're trying to figure out how to problem solve other people's stuff.
I get that. I get that.
It's not saying that I'm not going to save anything, but as much as grace as you can give me, give me. You see what I'm saying? Because it's always rolling here. And I don't have a moment. If I had that moment to drop what I'm doing, I take a break in the middle of my day, not because I just want to go get something to eat or anything like that, because I need to decompress in the middle of my fucking day.
My mom, I've been telling her.
I need to decompress in the middle of my day. If I don't decompress in the middle of my day, you're going to have a Dion with an attitude for them evening people. I'm going to go nuts.
Yeah.
I'm going to go nuts. They're going to think something really wrong with me.
I want to be able to have a day wave and then a night wave.
Trust me, make one.
Please, no. That sun go down, I'm out of there.
Say,
Out of here.
because I had to create one. 2 to 4 is what I need. It gives me an opportunity to decompress. It also gives me an opportunity if I have something that I need to do. I get all that done. So when I come back for them evening people, I'm ready for them.
Yeah.
But I've also had those days where I've just worked all the way through and they are the worst. Because you're dealing with 20 different attitudes at 20 different times. And you want to be able to give your 100% self to each individual. And the reality of it is when you don't have that break, you can't.
Yeah.
So it's totally different.
And I think that's an opportunity for you to get involved in what that person's day is like. Like I'll ask my wife up front, like, I know she's a stylist. Shit, you got all locks today or you got cuts? Oh, I got cuts in the morning and locks in the evening. Okay, she ain't gonna really want to talk because she got all locks in the evening.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna give her her time. Like everything has a method. And I never told her that before, but I literally asked. And it would sound like a random question, whether it's not like, damn, you got 10 clients today or you got 4. I'm really just chilling today. Oh, okay, cool.
I'm excited about my easy days. So I let the world know, oh yeah, shit,
I'm open today.
I only got 4 or 5 people.
Call me
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, shoot. Give me something to do.
But I think that ties that back in, that's me being submissive to her.
True.
Because I'm kind of on a lot more than she is by the time I'm off work, whether nature of what I do for a living or if that's just how I am. I don't know that. I really don't know that part. But I know that I get absolutely no benefit from asking if she got all locks today or not cuts today until I made a benefit from it of knowing that she's going to need a moment when she get off.
Absolutely.
How could I make this easy for her when she does
Let's
get
pick
off
something
work?
she want to eat.
Let's go across town to Dallas and go to your favorite vegan spot today because you done went
You done had a
shit.
day.
The less I have to think when I leave here, the better.
Right.
Like, but if I have to leave her and take one hat off and put another hat on and just go, and unfortunately, you can't, for your children, you can't say, hey, I just need a minute.
No. And that's another layer for you. For
That's
sure.
24 hours, 7 days a week. There's always going to be something. It is what it is. That's mine. That's my mess. It ain't a mess in a negative way, but I'm saying that's my stuff. But then when you start having that's why I'm always big about adults. Adults can't come to me with certain stuff. I get real rude about how my responses is to it because you're an adult. You come, well, I just didn't feel like working out today. Then why are you here? Well, Dion, I just really needed to push. Well, it starts within. The push starts within. So you want me to come in and do something that you should already be doing. Like I go into whole psychologist mode. Like I make you feel this small when I'm in that mode. But when I'm in that giving mode, I'll encourage you and uplift you in it. But you can't just come in here and be like, oh man, I really didn't feel like being here today. How you just gonna come in here and really tell me in my motherfucking establishment that you just didn't feel like being here today?
Yeah,
what do you mean?
Yeah. I'm
coming to give you everything that I got, and you're gonna come and tell me, I just didn't feel like being here today. You should have told me that in a text message while you was out there in the car.
Yeah.
Then I might have another day where I come out there and come get your ass out your car and be like, let's go to work. I just don't know. Some days are better than others. But if I have that woosah time, I promise you get the best version of me you can get. But men don't do that. So they keep everything in and they don't tell people, hey, I'm feeling like this today. I'm feeling like this. I really don't feel like trying to be supposed to. I'm honest, But the reality of it is sometimes honesty ain't always the best policy. So you got to put your mask on, put on the front. Well, about 2 years ago, I just said, screw that mask. I'm throwing it in the trash. You're going to get whatever Dion you're going to get today. And it's still going to be effective. But
because I'm here to provide a service.
Yeah, because I'm here to provide the service.
All of this other shit.
So, and that's what we've been talking about for the past couple of weeks is like, you're here to do this one thing. My job is to get you mentally and physically fit to the best version of yourself. But I'll find myself doing more of the therapy part than I'm ever doing of the physical fitness and health part. So what do you do with that?
Charge him extra.
Do you take that away?
Before you come back in here, you owe me
$100. So do you take this part away? No, because that's the part of you. That's your gift.
Yeah.
That's your acts of service. That's who you are as an individual. You can't take that away.
That's what you'll do for free.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the part, but sometimes it's draining.
It's draining. It's still a job.
But even if they paid me for it, it wouldn't be enough because I can't get what I just gave you. I can't get that back. Like that's who I am. So that's what Stephanie was talking about, the aura of who I am. So I'm giving you all of this, and I don't want anything in return. I just need to be recharged. I'm like a Tesla. I need to plug up to the power socket so I can get some. And then I'm ready for the next person. But until then, I ain't no good to nobody, not even myself, like Blaq said.
Final thoughts.
Final thoughts. I think the submission, in a way, after all of this, is a mindset. I feel like we just give up an array of different versions of what submissive is for you and all of us. And I feel like it, in a way, is a mindset because the behavior we was already disclosed, it wasn't the definition of it anyway. So enhance your mentality of what submission is to better either provide for yourself or your partner. That would be mine.
Knowing who you are is number one. Knowing who you are in relations with is number two. And knowing when to submit is number three. I say them in that order because to know yourself is going to help you be honest and be understanding to knowing your partner. And then once you know your partner, then that allows you to know how to submit to your partner. Submitting is not a bad word, people. It is not a bad word at all. What we have to learn how to do is allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to submit. And when we allow ourselves to be vulnerable enough to submit, then we'll see that submitting is really not that bad. Submitting is a great thing. Submitting is a gift. Those people, they have a special gift, and you have to be able to respect that and love that in spite of. So I would say it takes two. Like I said last night, it goes both ways. No matter if you're heterosexual, if you're lesbian, whatever, that goes both ways. Both people have to do it. And you cannot have a successful, healthy relationship without it. That's my thought.
All right. See y'all next time.
Peace out.